back for another year at Cobber football with the head ball coach Terry Horan. 24th season as at the helm of the Cobbers. A little bit different this preseason than the years before because you had to travel to practice and you had to do a lot of other logistical things because of the work on the track and the field.
Right.
How has that helped you guys become more accustomed to adversity through this preseason?
Well, I'll tell you, yeah, it's been different. First thing I want to say, 24 years you and I have been doing these, Jim. For the long haul, my man. Let's go. I'll be honest with you, incredible coaches that have been supportive of it all and helped with all the logistics of equipment, getting equipment over to Morehead High School. And really, we are thankful for our neighbors at Morehead High School for allowing us to come over and spend all fall camp on their field. Also, I got an incredible batch of seniors, incredible leaders. They really put a blueprint together of what this should look like because it's really been flawless. We had several vans that were available to be able to transport our players over. We didn't have to use one of them. The upperclassmen figured it all out. They've transported everybody over to practice and back to the locker room to shower up. We've had to work with class schedules and being done because we're going in the morning now. We've been practicing in the morning, so we're up pretty early and at it. And especially at Morehead High School, that already started a week ago, and they practice after school. Changing our practice schedule to the mornings actually worked out pretty slick to be able to accomplish this. But it takes a village. It really does. And the logistical piece of it, we figured it all out, and we got everything done that we needed to get done.
Before we get into the season, let's talk about something else that's new. Right to your right.
Right on.
The Cobber helmet, but I don't want to talk about necessarily the design of it because it's been already talked about.
Right on.
I want to talk about the back of the helmet. Where you've got two memorial stickers, one for Ernie Mancini and one for Bobby Nick. Just touch on that a little bit.
Yeah, so on the back of the helmet, obviously a couple memorial decals, and one Bob Nick. It says Bob Nick 17. 17 is how I always referred to him. That was his college football number. He was a quarterback, obviously, on our national championship team, 64. Played for Jake, coached with Jim. He was my position coach when I came in the mid-80s. He was the offensive coordinator when I played. When I took over in 2001, he was my offensive coordinator, and a man that I absolutely cherished and miss him dearly, that is for sure. And so every member of our football program will have that memorial decal on the back of their helmet, and we're honoring Bob Nick and everything that he's meant to Concordia College throughout this season. And a few weeks after Bob had passed, Ernie Mancini had passed away, and Ernie in 2004 brought our Joshua Shield program to Cobber football. So since really middle of October of 2004, the Joshua Shield has been a pendant that's been worn around the neck of every single Cobber football player, and every homecoming, every new player will receive their very own Joshua Shield. For many years, Ernie was our football chaplain, and he would tell the story of Joshua. And now what we do, since Ernie, when he retired and whatnot, we bring in different players that have been a part of the Joshua Shield tradition, or colleagues of mine that have really wrapped themselves around the Joshua Shield. Like this year, Dr. Larry Pappenfuss, former athletic director, who is tied pretty heavily into the Joshua Shield, will be presenting to our football team. And this shield's a little different than past years, so it's the Joshua 19 shield, and then across the cross we have the name Ernie in maroon. And I've reached out to both families to let them know that these are on the back of every single Cobber football player's helmet to recognize and as a memorial decal throughout the season. I miss Ernie dearly as well. Many days we'd have conversations, and he was always had my back, and so did Coach Nick. So those guys get me emotional here. They mean a lot to me, and they mean a lot to our program.
Now let's look forward to this week. You finally get to play.
Right.
After all of those practices, after dealing with everything, you finally get to play a familiar opponent. Like last year, you played Eau Claire at Eau Claire. This year, though, you'll have a little bit more returning on both sides of the ball. Let's start on the offensive side. You've got quarterback Cooper Mattern, and you've got a bunch of skilled players on there. Talk about the strengths of this year's offense.
Yeah, I think just a number of guys with experience, right? From the offensive line to our backfield to our perimeter game, and obviously with Cooper being our signal caller, this will be his third year starting, and he just continues to keep getting better. And that has been really, you can see that in fall camp. But yeah, we've been making really good strides. You know, we're excited for this opportunity, excited to get our offense moving. And it's certainly a fun one to be a part of.
Now defensively, you guys also returned some stellar players. On the line, you've got Colin Thompson, former All-American and a preseason All-American. And in the linebacking core, you've got P.J. Parmley, who led the team in tackles. What are their strengths that they're going to bring, and is there anybody else that the Cobber Nation has to kind of look forward to, any other players that might catch their eye?
Yeah, I think I really like what our defense has been doing. Obviously, it's led up front with Colin Thompson, you know, being an All-American last year and well-deserved. And then obviously preseason All-American. He's just got a great motor. He's just an incredible leader. So the rest that we call the D-line, the dogs, and the dog pound, he's got a great grasp on the dog pound, and he knows they have his back too. So he's been really a good leader to that young group. P.J. Parmley, you know, he's one of our COVID seniors. We have 9 super seniors. We call them our COVID boys. He's played a lot of football for us, and he's like another coach out there. He really is an incredible leader, you know. And there's you know, when we talked earlier about, you know, the logistics of going over to Morehead High School and transferring, you know, all of our equipment and making it work. I don't know if it works as well if we didn't have 30 seniors that have been around the block a few times and made sure that everybody was taken care of. And that was led by our captains, and you know, 3 of them we've talked about: Cooper Mattern, P.J. Parmley, Colin Thompson, obviously Owen Miller, and Ethan Tong, the other 2 captains to go with them. They've been really outstanding leaders, and I couldn't have done it without them, and a great staff that understands what we need to do to just get prepared for a football game.
And then a place that's near and dear to your heart, special teams. You're the special teams guru. Damian Silas comes back, your kicker and punter, so that's got to make you sleep a little bit better at night, knowing that you've got experience at those positions.
I don't know if special teams ever makes me sleep good at night, but Damian's been kicking for us since his freshman year. He's been in a lot of the battles, so he gets it, he understands it. Mitch Drewley's his backup, which is very capable as well. Noah Lacey's probably one of the best snappers I've had since I've been here. And that's saying a lot too. He does a great job in both our long snapping and short snapping game. We've got, you know, just, you know, a lot of guys who have played in many different positions within our specials, that it's comforting to know when you're going through schemes and you're talking opponent schemes and things. They visualize it and they understand it. And they don't look like they got wide-eyed and hazy eyes. They're into it. They're focused. They know what they need to do. So we got some great veterans that are really chomping at the bit to play, and Saturday can't come soon enough.
You play Eau Claire on Saturday, just a little breakdown of Eau Claire. What have you learned from last year's game that you're going to try and improve on to this year?
Well, last year, you know, we kind of went into that game a little blindfolded, even though, you know, we knew where Rob Erickson had come from. He was at South Dakota State. Defensive back coach, ran their special teams, but prior, you know, we crossed paths when he was a D coordinator at Wisconsin Whitewater, so we had some ideas that way. They're very well coached, they really are, and they recruit extremely hard, and they're kind of an up and coming team in the Wisconsin League. I mean, they opened up the season last year, his opener as a head coach, and they kick a last-second field goal. I think there was like 25 seconds left on the clock to beat us 31-28, after we really had kind of a roaring comeback in the fourth quarter in weather that was close to 100 degrees. and thank goodness that on Saturday it's going to be a 40-degree difference, 69 degrees, 70 degrees, somewhere in there. It's going to be a great college football game day. But well coached. They really get it. That staff works hard. They got a big staff. They got great facilities. So recruiting-wise, NIL, they're kind of really taking off on a D3 model of NIL. So they're making a strong push to be recognized as one of the contenders of the WIAC.
And finally, it's too bad that we can't play at the home field, but it's nice that you've got right across the street, you've got MSU Morehead willing to host, and you guys, it should be a great atmosphere over at Alex Nemzik Stadium.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm really, I'll be honest with you, our administration has gone above and beyond to prepare for this game over at Morehead State. And we're thankful for our neighbors. Not many collegiate teams can say 3 blocks away from them is another collegiate football field where we can play on. You know, we've played over there before when we used to play the game there. Obviously, they have turf now, but their venue is nice, and we did our walkthrough today, and it's great. It's gonna be perfect for us. Our college community, led by our president Colin Irvin, he's rallying the troops. We've got bus shuttles going on. All the parent tailgating will still go on. Passes for our parents can still be recognized at this game. It's going to be a great atmosphere. We're going to make it a great atmosphere because that's what we do. I mean, we can't wait to get on our field. We haven't been on it yet. I've been on it, fortunate to walk on it, and I can't wait for our players to get on it. And our facility is going to be amazing, and it's about a week away. And homecoming will showcase that baby and be at the top of our game.
Good luck in the opener on Saturday.
I appreciate it.